And I realized for the first time that what I had been missing was me trying to play a filmmaker and not being a filmmaker. I was trying to play a director, and it was almost like the spirit song of the film pushing me, saying, "It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up." And I felt like somehow the city was very similar to that rhythm. And it was this sleepy little hamlet, which was almost like a silo. It was in many ways disconnected from many other parts of India. वो अपने में एक microcosm है. Begin with like a very personal story and personal memory in many ways. Actually, which was the first genesis of this film. जब मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि मैं शायद कभी ये फिल्म बनाऊंगा लाइफ में. Rudimentary understanding of cinema in our country, which is that people talk about कहानी क्या थी, अरे यार कहानी नहीं पसंद आई, या अरे यार डायलॉग अच्छे थे और whatever. Story तो is just the basic bahana for the film. That's literally the invitation card for the shadi.
I always find it fascinating, like as a filmmaker, when you see the final version of your film that has to go and play in the theaters with the entire, surround sound and all the sound mix, all the grade and everything. That must be, I think, quite a feeling कि हाँ अब पिक्चर खत्म हो गई है, मतलब बन गई है फाइनली, इट्स रेडी.
कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. ये बहुत रोमांटिसाइज्ड वर्जन है.
अच्छा,
मैं
okay.
इनफैक्ट मैं कभी पिक्चर देखता ही नहीं हूँ. I don't see my films once they go out of the film mix. I tried in the beginning, but I realized very very soon that it's nothing but heartbreak, because you only see your mistakes. You only say, oh my god, ये better हो सकता था, वो better हो सकता था. प्लस एनीवे द मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम इज डिफरेंट एवरीवेयर ना. तो जो आप आइडियल कंडीशंस में स्टूडियो में मिक्स करते हो, वो आप कभी दोबारा सुनते ही नहीं हो. सो यू कैन नेवर इवन से कि ओ इज दिस, डिड आई मेक दिस मिस्टेक, or is this just the monitoring system? So it's like 3D chess, which I don't want to play with myself anymore after the film is done.
Okay, okay. ठीक है. But I'm really, really excited for Agra to finally, release, and that too in the theaters. It's not going to be an OTT release. Otherwise, फिर वो एक चीज हो जाती कि अरे these films are meant for OTT, but we really want such cinema to also show up in theaters. So I'm really excited for that. We will talk about Agra for sure. There is a lot that I would love to ask you about. But before that, uh, I would love to know, because I live in Delhi NCR. I've been here for the last 19 years. And आप पंजाब में, if I'm not wrong, पंजाब में आपका जन्म हुआ था, but then you shifted to Delhi. And then you also did your schooling from Noida and your college from Delhi. So can you just,
Yeah.
take me back to the 1990s and the early 2000s of Delhi NCR? What was it like then? And are there any of those experiences and memories that have stayed with you, especially, in your creative journey? They remain like an unforgettable experience.
I mean, there are too many to talk about. Honestly, I don't know where to start. 90s was a completely different time, completely different period. Life ही अलग थी. We were just about getting into the full flow of the so-called internet age, right? मतलब मैंने तो वो भी देखा हुआ है मॉडर्न, वो टू टा वाला ट्री वाला. We had started there, right? We were there, and then slowly the influx of cell phones, from that. So the biggest, I think, difference that I feel is that I've experienced those times to a large extent where it was fine for someone to be completely incommunicado for a few hours, और किसी को कोई चिंता नहीं होती थी. For example, if I had to meet someone, one of my friends somewhere, so there was a pre-decided location. Let's say इस लक्ष्मी नगर बस स्टॉप पे मिलते हैं, तो आप लक्ष्मी नगर बस स्टॉप पे जाके खड़े हो जाते थे, और अगर 1 घंटे तक कोई नहीं आता था तो आप वहीं बैठे रहते थे विदाउट बीइंग वरीड कि आ जाएगा, ठीक है, इट्स फाइन, कुछ हो गया होगा. So from that to transitioning to now, when your Uber is not coming, and if it's 3 minutes away and if it's not moving, you're calling the guy saying, where are you, why are you not turning up? Or calling your Swiggy guy saying, the app said you're here in 15 minutes, it's been 17. So I mean, it's a huge, I guess what I'm saying is it's a huge difference in how we perceive time now. बहुत अलग है. So सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस तो मुझे लगता है वही है, the perception of time, and as a result the perception of spaces around us has completely evolved. और बाकी if you say, मेरे लिए पर्सनली भी तो वो टाइम कितना अलग था. I was this young boy, 92, 93. I was 12, 13 years old, and those days in Delhi, first love. I was in college. I was falling in love for the first time. It's just completely different sort of, you know, tenor to how, I mean, those, that early childhood, and then, sorry, late childhood, and then the teens is always what it is. So it was a magical time. I remember मैं अपने college में, I was the first one. So I went to this MBA prep kind of college. I went to College of Business Studies. Basically, school करते करते almost, because I had parents who were
Yeah.
cozy filmmakers, I knew कि मेरे को film school जाना है. मैंने घर में बोल दिया था, even though there was huge opposition at home, primarily from my dad, who said नहीं 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 तुम तो actor बनोगे वो, but I knew even at 17, 18 कि I want to go to film school. But the shock for me was when I found out film school is only postgraduate. तो फिर मेरे को क्राइसिस हो गया कि अरे यार अब तो 3 साल और वेट करना पड़ेगा. So then I had to figure what I will do for these 3 years. And so I was like, I don't want to waste my years in, I mean, I was going to say waste my years in DU, Delhi University, but I'm not saying all DU colleges are a waste, but I was going to do maybe English honors or something like that. And I was like, dude, that I can even, attempt later. Maybe I should use these 3 years for something completely different. So I did a sort of like a MBA-ish kind of, MBA is masters, but I did my bachelor's in business studies from College of Business Studies, which was this, college full of just business minded kids. And I was the one who started a theater society there in college. और वो उतने ही 3 साल ही चली. जब मैं था वहां तभी उन्हीं 3 साल चली, उसके बाद बंद हो गई. So, doing theater in college, just that energy, beginning to explore myself. I had already started writing my original sort of plays by then. So I'd started delving in writing a little bit. Plus, I was falling in love around that time in college. So it was just like a, very, very magical time. I don't know if I've answered your question.
No, 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 absolutely. Because I also wanted to understand, because yes, I will come to something which I see as a character itself in your stories. But then I also am very fascinated with how you capture a city. Like आपने आगरा को जिस तरह से दिखाया है, आपने दिल्ली को जिस तरह से दिखाया है. So I was just curious कि, and you have mentioned this multiple times, that you are someone who likes to observe people. You are someone who likes to, talk to people. आपने शायद चलचित्र टॉक्स के इंटरव्यू में बताया था about that conversation with a lady in the bus where you missed, both of you missed those stops, and you were just, absolutely, involved in each other's conversation, because you are that kind of a person. So I just wanted to ask that. Uh, you have also been a documentary filmmaker, and I would just like to understand if there are any of learnings and experiences from your documentary filmmaking that have permeated into your fiction storytelling ventures.
Oh, many. I think the biggest lesson I learned from documentary was the killing of my own ego as a filmmaker. Because I was always a very fiction oriented kid, और मैंने हमेशा से घर में fiction ही देखा था बनता हुआ. So, but as I said, I in my head I was very frustrated कि यार 3 साल वेट करना पड़ेगा फिल्म स्कूल जाने के लिए. बिकॉज इन माई हेड आई वाज लाइक आई एम रेडी. लोग तो बस वेट ही कर रहे हैं कि मैं आऊंगा और मैं तो सब बदल दूंगा, whatever whatever. I was this overconfident stupid kid. So I was doing all of this prepping, and then eventually I got into SRFTI and I went there and I did my first few projects. Actually पहले 2 साल, so my feature, my doc project was the final year project. The first project that you do in final year is your documentary project. तो पहले 2 साल मैंने सारी fiction projects ही किए. and it used to really bother me, because I used to shoot everything, and I thought I was doing everything right, but every time I finished a project and I saw what I had done, it used to be very stilted what I was doing. So I was really worried कि यार ये क्या हो रहा है, मतलब मैं सही इंटेंशन से करता हूँ, सही करता हूँ, मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, मेहनत कर रहा हूँ, बट ये ऐसा क्यों बन रहा है, why is it not working? So coincidentally what happened was, around my final year, I found a great mentor at SRFTI, my editing HOD Nilotpal Majumdar. He introduced me to documentary. He said, "ये देखो," मुझे खींच के ले जाते थे मेन थिएटर में जहाँ हमारी स्क्रीनिंग होती थी. "Come, let's watch this." And so I saw Kosakovsky, and I saw a few other, really interesting doc filmmakers, and I got bitten by the bug. Because before that, my exposure was only to Indian, very PSBT kind of, docs, and I found them okay, not very my zone. So when I saw these creative docs, I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. अगर ऐसा डॉक है तो फिर मुझे ये करने का मन है. And so these two things came together: my own worry about my stiltedness, and my doc project, which was upcoming. And so the moment I started going into prep or shooting my first doc, I started getting this really even more frustrating feeling, because I had no control over the film. So I had no, I mean, I had no control over what the film was. वो खुद को बना रही थी. तो बनाते 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 शूट होके एडिट होके जब मैंने पहली बार पिक्चर देखी, that was the best project that I had done in film school. And I sat back and I questioned myself कि यार ये क्या हुआ. बनाते हुए मुझे लग रहा था मैं बना ही नहीं रहा हूँ, और ये तो बहुत अच्छा कुछ बन गया है. एंड सो आई sat back and I started thinking what just happened, and I realized for the first time that what I had been missing was me trying to play a filmmaker and not being a filmmaker. I was trying to play a director, in all my fiction work. And the moment that got taken out very organically from a documentary, because you cannot guide how a documentary is made in many
Hmm.
ways. You
Hmm.
can, but it's a very different process. So I realized कि यार मेरा ईगो मरा है कि मैं डायरेक्टर हूं, वो नहीं है इस फिल्म में, इसलिए फिल्म अच्छी है. सो दैट वाज माय बिगेस्ट लर्निंग एज अ फिल्म मेकर, दैट यू कैन नॉट प्ले अ डायरेक्टर. यू आर नॉट सपोज टू प्ले कि मैं डायरेक्टर हूं, अब मैं बताऊंगा क्या कैसे फिल्म बनानी है, आई टेल यू द शॉट, आई डू दिस. इट्स अ कोलैबोरेटिव प्रोसेस, एंड the more open you leave that process, you the more open you leave it to influence from others, the bigger ripple it becomes. And that is one of the basic tenets of not just documentary but filmmaking per se. So that was a huge sort of, it shifted my completely my sort of, into the process of filmmaking.
Right. So, like you were saying that being a director, yes, who is known as, the captain of the ship, but at the same time, you also have to listen to the crew members. Is that like, is that your learning कि, when you say killing your ego, that means कि नहीं सब कुछ मैं नहीं चलाऊंगा, और भी लोग हैं जो मुझे आके चीजें बताएंगे और उनका भी कंट्रीब्यूशन उतना ही वैल्यूएबल है स्टोरी को एनहांस करने के लिए.
Exactly, उतना ही equally. I don't think there is any captain of the ship.
Okay.
मुझे नहीं लगता. So I, in that sense, I don't quite subscribe to that author theory kind of thing. I think it's a very, very collaborative process. I think you've got to have partners, you've got to have collaborators with you. So I don't try to behave like the captain of the ship. I'm here to guide people through a process and come in and sort of give my opinions, but I, not even for a second do I stand back and say, "Nick, this is the ultimate opinion." I try to keep myself as open as possible.
Right, right, absolutely. And I'm also curious that like uh, this is your learning from of being a documentary filmmaker. And are there any? But I would also like to understand that are there any learnings from film school which I won't say completely, but proved to be slightly different. Like you had a slightly different experience when you actually came to the real world, and you were like कि नहीं यार ये जो हमने फिल्म स्कूल में सीखा था उससे ये तो अलग है, क्योंकि हमने सीखा था ये लेकिन जब मैं बाहर आया हूँ अपनी कहानियां कहने, देन माई एक्सपीरियंस इज डिफरेंट.
Hmm.
तो ऐसा आपके
And
साथ
so,
मतलब ऐसा आपके साथ हुआ कि आर देयर एनी मोमेंट्स वेर यू फेल्ट कि the learnings that I had in film school versus what I'm doing in the real world, there is a difference.
You're saying did I get different insights once I stepped out into the real
Yes,
world?
yeah. Compared to the insights that you got while being at film school.
Can I be really honest? I don't think I learned much at film school in your conventional sense. In fact, it's not just me. I don't think, in my experience, maybe so this is totally personal to me and to the people I saw around me while I was there for 4 years. Uh, I don't think anyone was learning per se at film school. What film school does to you is it gives you oodles of time for yourself. अब वो 4 साल लेने का जो 3 साल 3.5 4 साल जो भी है वो लेने का प्रोसेस यही होता है कि आप अपने आप को जान पाओ. You get to know who you are, right? And you get to watch a lot of great cinema. And if you're really lucky, you get some good mentors,
Right.
right? There isn't film schools. Also, I think the best film schools do not tie themselves to structural teaching, because ऐसा कुछ पॉलिटेक्निक तो जैसा है नहीं, फिल्म मेकिंग वैसा प्रोसेस भी नहीं है कि ये सीख लो, नेगेटिव को टेप लगाना सीख लो, वो कर लो तो फिल्म मेकिंग आ जाएगा. नहीं, it's an intuitive process, it's a personal process. So the best film schools all over the world are also geared to an extent, maybe I'm using the wrong word, but they are geared for that chaos. They create that chaos for you, so that chaos brings some churning, and through that churning, if you have enough fire to hold yourself together, because going through this amount of churning can also make you break apart and tell you that maybe you're not ready for this profession, because it's such a difficult profession in the sense that you every film bol film to hai hi, every film is a new beginning, but every day literally is a new beginning in this job, right? If we were to
Right.
call it a job. So
Right.
filmmaking in that sense can really break you and destroy you. So I think that chaos in a film school preps you really really well, and वो आपको literally takes you through that fire and says करना है या नहीं करना है, right? And you get shaft through that. वो eventually we see how many, still the cinematographers, editors, sound designers, you find a lot of successful people from film schools. uh, but directors mostly, because again, with direction it is that much more excavated. That renewal, that daily renewal is like, you don't have any crutch. I don't know if I'm saying this the right way. It's not even a crutch, but at least a cinematographer has the technical know-how of the camera, or the editor has the little bit, right? That's not what it is, but still, directors के पास तो कुछ भी नहीं होता. एक कलम होती है और खाली कागज होता है, और the terror of staring at that white paper every day. That's what they have, right? They can't even revert back to a still camera कि चल आज मैं जाके 10 फोटो ले आता हूँ और मेरी गेज है, मेरी आय है, बिक जाएगा. Like Kubrick did in the early days. He started as a still photographer.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
he at least could make ends meet. Anyway, I'm just blabbering. I don't know what I'm saying, but
No,
but I was saying that the film school actually prepares you with that chaos and gives you time to reflect and shapes you in really interesting ways.
Yeah. And ये जो terror की आपने बात करी, so film school also preps you to deal with this terror in your creative journey.
हाँ, मतलब पता नहीं वो अब वो सामने सामने से एक्टिवली प्रेप नहीं करता, बट बिकॉज एक ऑलमोस्ट ब्लैक होल होता है कि क्या करें कहाँ. जैसे मेरी तो क्लासेस ही नहीं होती थी, टीचर्स ही नहीं रहे फिल्म स्कूल में. मैं तो एडिटिंग डिपार्टमेंट में पूरा दिन रहता था, बिकॉज मेरे जो दो क्लोजेस्ट बेस्ट मेंटर्स थे, जो जिन जिन लोगों से मैं क्लोजेस्ट था, वो दोनों एडिटिंग डिपार्टमेंट में. डायरेक्शन डिपार्टमेंट में तो क्लासेस नहीं हो रही है, क्या हो रहा है, कंप्लीट ब्लैक होल. यूर इन अ ब्लैक होल. All you can do is 5 p.m. there's a screening every day, so you're going to watch a kick-ass film.
Okay.
Guaranteed one film every day, and then if you want, you can watch 2 or 3 in a day. You can be in the library as much as you long as long as you want, and so yeah, yeah.
That's right. Great. Uh, I would like to touch upon the film Agra. And first of all, Agra is again very close to my heart because I have spent the formative years of my life in Agra. My like 2 months after my birth, my dad got shifted to Agra. So you can say that I was born in another city, but I took my first breath in Agra. This is what I tell
Oh,
everyone. So yeah, so I have spent 8 years of my life in Agra. And when I saw the film, आपने आगरा सिटी में ही शूट करी है, right?
yeah, yeah.
हाँ जी. So we used to live in an area called Jaipur House, and I still, when I go there, all the memories just keep coming back to me. And I think I'll always be connected to the city, and that is one of the biggest reasons also why I love the film, because it takes place in the city that was my home. And I would love to understand from you that during the making of Agra, like all through all the three stages, is there something particular that you discovered about the city during your, let's say, expedition of telling a story situated in based in that city? Is there something that you discovered that you took away? Ki हाँ, this is my definition of the city. This is because मैं उसी चीज पे जा रहा हूँ जो आप कहते हैं ना कि I like to observe people, I like to
Hmm.
talk to people, and you like to be there in a particular scenario and become a part of it. तो उस लिहाजे से did you you know uh, feel something about the city, felt something about the city? जैसे बॉम्बे की अपनी एक बॉम्बे की अपनी एक डेफिनेशन है सबकी, दिल्ली की अपनी एक डेफिनेशन है, तो कोई
Hmm.
आगरा की ऐसी डेफिनेशन है जो आपके पास आपको जो आपने डिस्कवर की?
Um, it's a very interesting question. I don't know where to begin. Um, Actually, इतना इतना ज्यादा मैं बोलूंगा शूट करते हुए या इवन प्रेप में नहीं. आई एक्चुअली वेंट एंड स्पेंट अबाउट 3 months in Agra while in the middle of writing drafts, because by I think this is between probably the fourth and fifth draft of the film. जब तक मेरे को ये पता चल गया था कि पिक्चर का नाम आगरा है और ये मुझे आगरा में शूट करनी है. So between doing that fourth and fifth draft, I took some time off and I spent some time in Agra because I was like, I don't know the city at all. I haven't lived there ever, or I need to, you know, get a sense of what the texture of the city is. And so while I spent those 2.5, 3 months there, one would call it research, the research period.
Right.
Um, I was asking myself this very question कि यार ये शहर है क्या? How does one pin it down, right? And also with it, I was trying to I like to have a sort of a piece of music for myself, which can help me come back to the film. If I'm losing focus or either other, I like to listen to then that piece of music every morning as I'm going to shoot. So I'm always looking in this phase of writing ki, what is that one piece of music which will, just be the film for me. So I was looking for this music, and one of my ADs sent me this track. It's called "It's Time to Wake Up." Uh, it's by a French band. I'm forgetting the name of the band. But yeah, the track is called "It's Time to Wake Up." And तो इस पीरियड में ना मैं मॉर्निंग्स में जब निकलता था वॉक पे, जस्ट टू आई यूज्ड टू वॉक थ्रू द सिटी अ लॉट एंड जस्ट गेट ट्राई टू गेट अ सेंस ऑफ, सुबह जाके आप वो कचौरी आलू खा रहे हो एंड यू आर हैविंग ब्रेकफास्ट
Yeah,
नुक्कड़
yeah, yeah.
पे दुकान पे.
Yes,
So
yes.
I used to go for these walks, and I at after a point I was listening to that track and I said यार ये शहर थोड़ा सा सोया हुआ है, because I guess maybe I was also listening to "It's Time to Wake Up,"
Hmm.
and in a sense, Guru was also shaping up in my
Right,
head
right.
as a boy who's desperately trying to wake something up
Correct.
in him and in the people around him in this house. And it was almost like the spirit song of the film pushing me, saying, "It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up." And I felt like somehow the city was very similar to that rhythm. And it was this sleepy little hamlet, which was almost like a silo. It was in many ways disconnected from मेनी अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया, वो अपने में एक माइक्रोकॉज्म है, और अजीब सा माइक्रोकॉज्म है, थोड़ा सोया हुआ भी है और खुश भी है सोए रहने में, उसको मन भी नहीं है जगने का या बहुत एक्टिव होने का. तो that sort of, I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yeah, yeah,
so that was sort of my impression of the city.
right, right. uh, आगरा फिल्म में आई फील स्ट्रांगली दैट द हाउस is a character. The
Hmm.
house, I feel, has an arc of its own. It is an edifice that has endured generations worth of emotions and the weight of generational trauma as well. Uh, but at the same time, it is also harboring those same generations. It is the safe haven for these mortal beings. And then अल्टीमेटली ये डिसाइड होता है कि पूरा हाउस, पूरा घर तोड़ा जाएगा, रेनोवेट होगा, और हर एवरी कॉर्नर विल बी मॉडिफाइड, एंड इट फील्स लाइक a new beginning, not just for the family members but for the house itself, which feels like a, much awaited rebirth. And आपने बताया भी है पहले कि the physical space where your characters are situated, that space holds very like a prime importance for you when it comes to telling your story. एंड एक घर में जिस तरह से लोग रहते हैं, इट ऑल्सो शोज द काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स दैट we have with each other because of how everything is nurtured under the same roof.
Hmm.
And yeah, like, I don't know if it makes sense, but if you can double down on this, if you can double click on this aspect of the house having a character arc of its own. And because यहाँ पे मुझे लगता है कि जो हमारे कैरेक्टर्स हैं, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग अगेन दैट आई ऑल ऑफ अस कनेक्ट इन वेरी पर्सनल वेज, बिकॉज आई कम फ्रॉम अ फैमिली हु इज नाउ फाइटिंग फॉर अ हाउस, हु इज फाइटिंग फॉर स्पेस, कि इतना मेरा है, इतना मेरा है, इतना मेरा है. एंड दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट गुरु इज फाइटिंग फॉर इन द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द फिल्म इटसेल्फ, कि मुझे कमरा चाहिए ऊपर.
Hmm.
तो yeah, like if you can, elaborate on this, if you can talk about this, if you can tell me if I'm wrong or right in whatever. Yeah,
नहीं यार, देर इज नो रॉन्ग एंड राइट. एक्चुअली एक बार फिल्म बन जाती है तो उसके बाद वो सबके हाथ में चली जाती है. अब वो मेरी फिल्म है ही नहीं, तो जो देख रहा है उसकी फिल्म है. सो आई मीन, आई फाइंड इट of the best value that actually the film has that space in it, that you can make it your own film
yeah,
and see it through your own lens. It's not just trying to say one fixed thing. That's something that I aim for. But to answer your question, let me begin with like a very personal story and personal memory in many ways,
sure.
actually, which was the first genesis of this film. जब मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि मैं शायद ये कभी ये फिल्म बनाऊंगा लाइफ में, which was, a very one of the most sort of um, important sort of experiences of my life, where I felt a lot, which was that क्या हुआ ना, I early years I grew up in Patiala with my mother, and after a point we moved to Delhi when I was about 11, 12. My father was by then was at the National School of Drama Repertory Company, and the parents decided कि यार छोटे शहर में नहीं, इसको थोड़े बड़े शहर लेके आते हैं, exposure मिलेगा, usual all of that, right? So I moved to Delhi when I must have been about 11 or 12. And so the first house that we stayed in was a rented छोटा सा 2 कमरे का घर, बंगाली मार्केट में, रेलवे कॉलोनी में. रेलवे क्वार्टर्स जो होते थे वहां किसी के यहाँ किराए में रहते थे. तो मैं मोस्टली अपने फादर और दादी के साथ ही रहता था, बिकॉज माई मम वॉज स्टिल टीचिंग इन पटियाला. तो 4 दिन वो होती नहीं थी हफ्ते में, सिर्फ वीकेंड, फ्राइडे सैटरडे संडे होती थी. तो माँ के काफी हद तक माँ के बिना रह रहा था. किचन भी ऐसे ऊपर नीचे ही था, ज्यादातर खाना घर में बनता नहीं था, बाहर ही होता था. सो आई गेस व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से वाज वी वर इन अ रियली स्मॉल स्पेस. इट वाजंट द परफेक्ट फैमिली, सब कुछ सही भी नहीं था, पर पता है हम लोग बहुत खुश थे. It was probably the happiest that I had seen. I've seen my family over the years. Those 3-4 years in the Bengali market house. Then we moved to another rental in Preet Vihar in East Delhi. And those were also very, it was great. It were great years for me. And then came the point where my parents bought their first house in Patparganj. तो वो जब वो उन्होंने खरीदा तो वो घर तोड़ के दोबारा बनाया गया. और यूजुअली जब आप घर लेते हो तो रीडिजाइन करते हो, साल भर लगता ही है वो पूरे प्रोसेस में. तो उस वो जो घर बनने का प्रोसेस था ना, आई मस्ट हैव बीन अराउंड 16 और 17. वो मैंने पेरिफेरली आसपास देखा कि ये घर बन रहा है. और उस घर को बनते हुए देखने का मेरा एक्सपीरियंस बड़ा स्ट्रेंज था यार, क्योंकि पता नहीं, फॉर सम रीजन आई फेल्ट लाइक यार, ये सब लोग अपने सपने कितने प्यार से संजो रहे हैं इस घर में. मेरी माँ अपनी स्पेसेस बना रही हैं, फर्नीचर पिक कर रही हैं ओल्ड फर्नीचर मार्केट जाके. फादर इज डूइंग लाइट फिक्सचर्स, ये वो राइट. बट उस सारे चक्कर में, वो बनने के चक्कर में, द क्लोजनेस दैट आई फेल्ट विद इन this unit, that this unit of the family, that somehow I can't to this day pinpoint what happened, but that suffered a little bit. And so the early years where we were really happy were somehow, they were not as beautiful as whatever before. And I often used to think कि यार ये क्या है, ये हिंदुस्तानियों का पूरा प्यार अपने घर बनाने से, कि सब लोग छोटे 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 इतने ड्रीम्स इसमें निचोड़ के डाल देते हैं. बट वो बनाने के प्रोसेस में ट्रांजैक्शनैलिटी कितनी बढ़ जाती है. Because at the bottom of every collective dream is an individual desire in some way. I don't know if that makes sense. So
Makes sense.
ये ना ये अभी मैं आर्टिकुलेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, पर ये आर्टिकुलेटेबल नहीं था उस समय. It was just, I was very, it left a very deep impression on me. That year and a half of that house getting made and me feeling slightly weird. I couldn't pinpoint, but I was feeling weird. So this thing then stayed with me, this experience. And so the first germ of Agra was also that, there are so many song sequences in Bollywood films. I want to do a film where there is a 4-5 minute musical montage where you see a house getting built. तो गाना नहीं, मुझे एक म्यूजिक पीस करना है, 4-5 मिनट का लंबा, जाए घर बन रहा है और घर बनने की हिपोक्रेसी आप देख रहे हो उसमें. So in many ways, Agra, towards the end, they are making the house. They are getting what they want. But there is a huge amount of hypocrisy in the act of that house getting made. Because अभी तक जो सब लोग लड़ रहे थे, अब because सबको एक कलेक्टिव एक सर्वाइवल मैकेनिज्म मिल गया है, तो सब आके एक दूसरे से खुशी जता रहे हैं, and that also, that last shot where the camera tilts up, it's almost like a phallic structure. So this whole sort of melding between patriarchy and masculinity and this whole transactionality, and I wanted to piece together those things and build a really emotional piece where you don't know whether to be happy or to be sad for these people. So that somewhere वहां से इसका germ शुरू हुआ. And then of course, everything that you're doing, you're essentially trying to embed it with a certain rhythm in terms of time and giving it a certain context in terms of space.
Correct.
Space और time के बिना मेरे लिए picture है ही नहीं है. You punch it, every film that you're doing, you're trying to build a rhythm for it. Dialogue क्या है, कहानी क्या है, it's so abused that sort of rudimentary understanding of cinema in our country, which is that people talk about कहानी क्या थी, अरे यार कहानी नहीं पसंद आई, या अरे यार डायलॉग अच्छे थे और whatever. Story तो is just the basic bahana for the film. That's literally the invitation card for the shadi. It's not the shadi. You've invited someone by saying this is the story, but really they don't know that. An audience feels like they're watching the kahani, but they're really watching people embedded in a certain rhythm, in a certain context, set in a certain time. And by time I now mean like time embedded in our calendar kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Like Agra is set in whatever time period, so it will always reflect that year or whatever. So that's what I try to do. That's And so yes, of course, it was about that space and that time. um, um, yeah.
yeah, that is there. And ये जो आपने बात कही ना कि अल्टीमेटली एवरीवन गेट्स दैट कलेक्टिव रीजन टू एग्जिस्ट अंडर द सेम रूफ,
Yeah.
but उसमें भी everyone is fighting for their own independence. I feel that it's not just Guru who's fighting for his independence of, living with a wife, but it is the father, it is
Hmm.
the mother, and the lady. क्योंकि एंड एक जो, क्योंकि यहाँ पे ना आपने, मतलब दिस इज माय ऑब्जर्वेशन कि एक जो जिस तरह से आपने एक वो पेरेंट की इमेज, जो पापा का डर, पापा की इमेज जो आपने कैप्चर करी है ना, कि लाइक वो ऐसे ऊपर देखता है और वो रेलिंग ऐसे बनी हुई है और उसके थ्रू हम देख रहे हैं, एंड ही जस्ट सेज वन थिंग कि क्या तमाशा लगा रखा है, एंड
Hmm.
इट्स लाइक एब्सोल्यूट साइलेंस। तो वहां,
Hmm.
एंड देन उसके बाद फिर, मतलब वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इट्स अ वेरी हिलेरियस, जब वो कहता है ना कि पापा मुझे शादी करनी है, तो ही डजंट से कि क्या बोल रहा है, क्या क्या मतलब, ही सेड हैं, मतलब दैट है फील्स लाइक कि वो, मैं क्या बोलूं, वो बहुत ऑर्गेनिक है, वो है बहुत ऑर्गेनिक है। एंड तो हाँ, मुझे ऐसा भी लगा आफ्टर वॉचिंग द फिल्म दैट yes, it is about repressing sexual desires, it's about, a person dealing with those issues, but at the same time it is also every person's story of fighting for independence, and that independence can only be achieved, like you said, by coming together and building a structure which has divisions, कि
Hmm.
ऊपर का कमरा मेरा है, नीचे ये है वो है।
Hmm.
क्योंकि क्योंकि हम कभी यहाँ पे कहते हैं ना कि डाइनिंग टेबल पे सब आके बैठते हैं, we never see
Hmm.
that dining table, we only see rooms.
Hmm.
So I love how, I think there is this contrasting relationship of unity and, you know uh, अलग रहने वाली भी चीज है, लेकिन एक साथ रहने वाली भी चीज है। तो
यार, वो तो
हाँ,
वो तो हमारे जीवन की विडंबना है ना।
एग्जैक्टली एग्जैक्टली।
अभी 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 पॉइंट ये भी है कि you also want to you cannot have a judgmental gaze on any character that you're dealing with. So they are all human beings, they are all doing the best they can, fighting with their own repressions, yes. However, you are trying to take people into this world through one singular gaze, which in this case happens to be Guru's gaze. And for me, the film is really a reverse coming of age. It's not a coming of age. It's essentially a film about a boy who starts out fighting,
या
not having the vocabulary. उसको पता नहीं है मैं कैसे बात करूं इस हिपोक्रेसी की जो मेरे घर में हो रही है। अब
हाँ,
एक ही घर में बाप रह रहा है, ऊपर आंटी के साथ, मिस्ट्रेस के साथ, नीचे आप माँ के साथ रह रहे हो, ये क्या
राइट
हो रहा है घर में, राइट?
राइट
तो एक लड़का है जो बोल, उसे पता नहीं मैं कैसे बोलूं, बट एसेंशियली जब वो बोल रहा है मैं माला के साथ रहूंगा यहाँ कमरा बना के जैसे आप रहते हो, एसेंशियली वो बोल रहा है भाई आप रहते हो एक और औरत के साथ, वो इस बारे में बात करने की कोशिश कर रहा है। और इसी लड़ाई को लड़ते लड़ते कि यार तुम क्या कर रहे हो, तुम सब लोग सॉल्व क्यों नहीं करते, माँ को
या
भी वो एक तरह से यही बोलता है कोडिफाइड वे में कि छोड़ दो ना उसको, फिर कुछ करो, अकेले रह लो।
करेक्ट
बाप को भी यही बोलता है कि भाई तू क्या कर रहा है, उसको हटा दे। आंटी के लिए उसका अपना डिजायर भी है, in a sense that killing of the squirrel which belongs to auntie is
राइट
also the duality between the hatred for auntie and the pure attraction to auntie, because auntie is in many ways that auntie is also the ultimate goal na. If daddy has auntie, then I also need auntie in many ways. So
राइट
all of these things that work in our subliminal sort of how should I say, halos that we all have. It's sometimes we are not even aware of these volcanoes that are erupting inside. But
राइट
essentially, this boy is fighting all of this and is essentially saying, guys, what are you doing? Let's talk about this. And he loses by the end. He loses that fight. क्योंकि by the end उसकी बात कोई सुनने को तैयार नहीं है। और फिर वो फाइनली बोलता है ठीक है भाई, यही चाहिए, अगर तुम सबको यही चाहिए तो फिर मैं दिखाता हूं कैसे करते हैं। क्योंकि आप जैसे कर रहे हो, जैसे फादर कर रहा है कि दो औरतें चल रही है, एक तीसरी औरत को ले आएंगे और उससे कर लेंगे. At the end of the day, Guru बोलते बॉस, this is not then how life is lived.
Right.
Don't teach me how to live life. if
Right.
you want if you want something, then the world today is where you will also have to give something. You will, if you really need a beautiful trench coat or a beautiful whatever, you'll have to cut one of your arms to be able to buy it, because that's what it costs. And essentially at the end of the day, the house that they are making finally, उसकी भी तो नींव गई हुई है ना, वो अब उनकी नहीं रही. मिल गए
Correct.
उनको 3 फ्लोर, but
Correct.
the base of the house doesn't belong to them.
Right.
So
Right.
so that's the dichotomy that I was trying to. It is a phallic structure with the base already gone. It's not yours. वो तो वो broker को चला गया. So yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a win, but it's a farcical win. Personally, for me, if you ask me, it's a very farcical win.
Correct. Correct. You also mentioned that most of the time, and I think this is the case with almost every filmmaker, that you rely a lot on your instincts, even when you have everything in black and white on the page. Things might happen on set, on location, instinctually, and you're like, कि नहीं यार ये करते हैं. So if, like, is there a decision, or like a creative decision that you took at that you made at any stage of making Agra that you are really happy about? कि यार, this is what we wrote, but eventually ये जो हमने किया, because we followed our instincts, it was a better decision.
I don't think, honestly, the life of an independent filmmaker works like that.
Okay.
It doesn't have any luxury of that sort. It is just about making things work within the limited resources that you have.
Okay.
You are constantly fighting the elements. You are constantly fighting the context that you have within the given film that you're trying to do, and you're trying to make the best of it. Like, for example, if you ask me, the first scene of the film, the
Yeah.
dream sequence, that was not the original dream sequence. It was a much more expensive dream sequence where Chat pe Guru has a dream that something happens, and eventually the Chat completely floods and he drowns in that water. But I realized very soon कि वो मैं नहीं कर सकता, because I don't have the money. So then I had to write the dream sequence that we now have in the film.
Mhm.
So there are many choices like that you're constantly making, but
Yeah.
most of them are essentially a fight against the elements.
Yeah. So any more examples of fighting against the elements in Agra that you जो realize किया कि नहीं, हमें बहुत grand करना था, but हम इसका एक छोटा सा truncated version कर सकते हैं because of the resources that we had?
Not really. I think in terms of that directly, this was the biggest sort of rewrite that I had to do. But I think one of the things that I'm really proud of having achieved in the film is the internet cafe itself. और actually उसमें भी मेरा इतना बड़ा हाथ नहीं है जितना पारुल का है, who's the production designer of the film. What a genius, a pure genius. That internet cafe, actually, we looked for 3.5 months, because I wanted a very specific type of internet cafe. Because also, the two major locations in the film were the house that they live in, and then the second biggest location was the internet cafe, where we shot for 5-6 days. घर में हमने करीब 17-18 नहीं 15-16 दिन का शूट किया, और 5-6 दिन का हमारा इंटरनेट कैफे का शूट था. So we were all very clear that we wanted the house to feel very phallic. And then after a point, when Guru meets Preeti for the first time in the film, that really then evolves into him having sex for the first time, and that it brings a big change in him. So that internet cafe, I wanted it to be the opposite of the house, and in that sense, our idea was to do a very vulvic space. So it's like a straight narrow passage which opens out into a sack towards the end, जहां वो रहती है पीछे का कमरा. So we were looking for this space जो हमें मिली ही नहीं, उस तरह की कोई space नहीं मिली. And we were very intent, both Parul and me, that if the film has to succeed subliminally in what we are trying to do, these two spaces are the most non-compromisable for us. The house in its phallic gaze, and this internet cafe. So ultimately what we had to do was the internet cafe that you do see in the film, it's a hole in the wall in a real marketplace. Eventually हमें एक खाली plot मिला जिसमें
Okay.
सिर्फ दीवारें थी. So that internet cafe is built ground up from
Wow.
nothing. Which yeah, both Parul and me are really proud of that. So yeah, then there are things like that which we did with the film.
Right, right. That's amazing. You also mentioned regarding sexual intimacy, like in that scene, how the characters interact sexually with each other. And I feel sexual intimacy is something in your filmography, it is of a, I would say, of a rough nature. And it is very evident. मतलब ऐसा मुझे लगता है. How do you, I would love to understand, how do you look at sexual intimacy, the depiction of sexual intimacy as a component in cinematic storytelling overall?
It's very simple. I think it is primed to mine the most how should I say, the truest revelations of any character. Because when we are in that sort of an intimate space with another human being, we are at our naked best, right? Not just physically, but emotionally. सारे मास्क उतर जाते हैं. आप हो जाते हो, आप
Right.
एक्चुअली कौन हो वो सामने आ जाता है. और दूसरे आदमी के लिए भी, आदमी या औरत के लिए भी वो सामने आ जाता है. और आप 1-to-1, इट्स अ टाइम ऑफ true connection. It can be, right? And if you don't handle it with let's say the courage and the love that you can bring to that act, it can very quickly become a transaction, and it can involve a lot of power shifts and a lot of power play, right? So I find these sexual spaces very interesting because मुझे लगता है मेरा काम आसान हो जाता है. They are the easiest spaces for me to be able to tell my audience ये character actually कौन है, right? Because everybody has a public persona, then they have a private persona, then they have a secret
Secret person.
persona.
Right.
So अब जब when you are literally, pardon my words, but when you are literally, inside a woman, or a woman has someone inside, कुछ बचता नहीं है. उस मोमेंट में कुछ बच नहीं सकता. उस मोमेंट में आपकी आंखों में जो है और सामने वाले की जो आंखों में है वो प्योर सच है. तो मैं वहां क्यों ना जाऊं, right? So I am not looking at it to explore it either. As you say, it's rough because it's not titillatory in nature. It's not, for me, a sex scene is not really a sex scene. For me, it is an opportunity to find the perfect bottomless pit of truth in that character, and that's how I look at sexuality in general,
Right.
within the kind of exploration that I try to do.
Right. And to double click on this exploration in Agra, I would love to understand as a director, how did you, work with the cast to enable them not just display their craft of acting, but also the vulnerability of their skin in this film?
हाँ, तो वो तो मतलब यार, you you have to uh, prep your actors really well, which is done for any film, but I think especially for a film like Agra, which is going into very difficult spaces,
Yeah.
you also, in addition, need to have that extra amount of trust and faith between you and your actors. And for that, you try a lot of different exercises with different actors depending on what they need, right? Like for example, मोहित से जब मैं मिला पहली बार, जब हम उसको कास्ट कर रहे थे, and we were considering him actually, one of my misgivings about Mohit was that Mohit in his real life was completely opposite of Guru. Mohit was quite a playboy. He is in the. I don't know if you would want me to say this or not, but Mohit and women have no problem. Like he's quite a charmer in that sense, right? He's very he's very accessible to the opposite sex. So I was like, यार मैं कैरेक्टर इसको ये वाला देने वाला हूँ और ये है ऐसा, इसके अंदर क्या है? तो मोहित को काफी हद तक मुझे बोल के नहीं, बट थ्रू हिज एक्सरसाइजेस कन्विंस भी करना पड़ा कि नहीं, मैं आ सकता हूं यहां तक। और कुछ हद तक मुझे मोहित को समझाना भी पड़ा कि गुरु का मेंटल स्पेस क्या है, राइट? तो उसके लिए हमने वी डिड extreme से लेके kooky exercises, like one of the extreme things that he was on was he was on a no sex diet for almost 6-7 months. I was like, you cannot
Complete
have
abstinence. Yeah.
yeah, you cannot have sex at all. So that's one way to feel like guru, come close to feeling like guru. And then we were doing other, because also आई डोंट नो, मैं अब ये थोड़ा लॉन्ग वाइंडेड होगा आंसर अगर मैं इधर जाऊंगा, बट बट इधर से एक और कॉन्वर्सेशन ये निकल जाएगा दैट one of the problems that I faced na very early on when I was writing this film was कि मेरे को ये realize हुआ कि यार मैं गुरु को fully जानता नहीं, because I all said and done, I was still a lower middle class kid with a house in Patparganj, a 3 BHK and a room by myself, right? मुझे रूम में चटकनी नहीं लगाने देते थे कभी मेरे घर में, even as a 21-22-25 साल का लड़का.
Okay.
But I still had a room to myself, and and so I had felt a certain sexual repression in my own context, but what I had seen in boys around me in other areas of Delhi, मेरे घर के पास ही मंडावली था जहां अलग तरह के लड़के रहते थे, वो तो 4-5 मेंबर कमरे में एक साथ एक ही कमरे में रहते थे, तो उनके पास तो वो भी नहीं था. तो जब मैंने गुरु लिखना शुरू किया, मैंने बोला यार तू तो झूठ लिख रहा है, बिकॉज तुझे तो मालूम ही नहीं है गुरु, तू तो रहा है एक कमरे में, वो जो गुरु तू लिख रहा है वो तो बिल्कुल ही अलग, उसका मनस्थिति ही अलग है, तो वहां तक कैसे पहुंचा जाए? तो देन आई हैड टू टेक लाइक I had to find ways to almost approximate what a guru would feel. And so then I started thinking about what do I do to come close to this chaos that a guru might be feeling. And so I did many things to get there. But for example, one of the things that I started doing was I started going into sex chat rooms, sometimes as a girl, sometimes as a boy, sometimes as myself also, because I thought it's important to go there as myself also, because I if I'm being someone else, then I'm in a sense othering. तो कनू को कितना पता चलेगा? कनू गुरु प्रिटेंड नहीं होना चाहिए. So सब कुछ मैंने करके देखा, बहुत टाइम स्पेंड किया. I paid attention to the kind of conversations, the kind of perversions, what were people talking about, हो क्या रहा है, like क्या exchange चल रहा है, and what are the secret lives of people. तो ये सब जब हुआ ना यार, तो ultimately, a picture of guru started emerging in front of me, which was that when you're so repressed and when you are on this almost this straight path journey of just trying to resolve one sort of how should I say urge in you, what happens is that the more and more you are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. I'm here too. So what happens is that more and more, क्या होता है ना, the connection between our public lives and our secret lives, the private is what does the negotiation between the public and the secret. So you have a secret life, then you have, let's say, a private life with your family, your immediate family, and that helps you deal with the world outside. But when you are trying to deal with these focused urges, the private completely dissolves. And so only the public and the secret is left. And this middle gets filled with white noise. There's just noise. And when you're in your private spaces, you're not really there. You're only looking forward to the secret, or only looking towards how do I deal with the public. So once this little middle starts to dissolve and it gets filled with just an empty blank space, because you are either trying to deal with this or wanting to go back there again where you're getting fulfilled. तो ये जब मुझे रियलाइज हुई ना व्हाइट नॉइज, तो कलर्स का आइडिया आया पहली बार फिल्म में. एंड देन I said, oh, then guru feels this white noise. and this white noise, this is what I need to reflect. This is the time and space of the film, right? This white noise, this is what happens when you go there. So when people, if you really want to see Guru from the inside or a perpetrator from the inside, you need
Yeah.
to feel what they're feeling. If we need to truly have a chance of bringing up boys that don't have this anymore. So coming back to where I took this scene,
Mhm.
when one of the things that we did with Guru was half an hour of white noise when he woke up in the morning and half an hour of white noise before he went to sleep at night. So we were doing many of these kind of things with different actors. With Priyanka, I had to do very different kind of workshops where I gathered her trust and made sure that she understood, even though she's very open with her body, like she doesn't have any hang-ups, but still it was really necessary for both of us to gather that trust between ourselves to say कि यार ठीक है तुमने करी होगी कोई फिल्म और लोग बोलते होंगे तुम्हारे बारे में, but this is a completely new film, and Priyanka also needed to know that this was being done for the right reasons. You know, the film was not about just a depiction of erotica or whatever. We were
Correct.
trying to go somewhere. So all of that really then, you know, depending on which actor needs what, you are trying to design stuff through the 3 month workshop to come close and yeah, just deal with what they're missing.
Yeah, yeah. This is very fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing that. And with what you have explained, I am able to now develop a kind of interpretation, which, of course, I will have to refine, but hopefully someday I'll get the chance to share with you, maybe via social media. Uh, we'll end this conversation in the next 10 minutes. I would just like to understand that the act of, like we say, that the act of creating is an act of discovering yourself. ये आपने भी ये बात कही है. Is there something that you found about yourself or discovered about yourself while making this film?
मुझे लगता है वो थोड़ा सा ना मोस्टली डायरेक्टर्स रोमांटिसाइज करते हैं
जी.
कथारसिस को.
अच्छा.
मुझे ये लगता है कि अगर आप कोई भी फिल्म अच्छे से फोकस्ड वे में अचीव करना चाहते हो, तो जो अपने आप को समझने का प्रोसेस होता है वो फिल्म शुरू करने से पहले खत्म हो जाना जरूरी है. Because if you're still trying to understand what you're trying to portray or create while you're doing it, you're leaving it what. So there's a difference. I'm not saying that it's a dead process. No, it's very much still an open process. But what is it open to? It's open to you being open to listening to other people's interpretations of what you're setting out to achieve.
Yeah.
So if you are trying to do a piece on sexuality and sexual repression, you cannot say, in my opinion, I would not say ki I will discover it as I make this film. No. For me, that discovery process is over before I start writing, because to an extent, I need to be clear about, okay, this is what I am setting out to achieve. I think this is it. I think ऐसा है, अभी ये करते हैं. And now, for the process not to be passive, other people and other ripples and other understandings of the same lens have to join it, and
Yeah.
together we have to make it bigger than just one person sitting in a room. And that's how it's a collaborative process, because and that's what an audience eventually feels if the film has come out correct, that ये सिर्फ एक बंदे का position नहीं है, ये 250 लोगों का position, because every member of that crew knows what you're attempting and they are saying हाँ ऐसा कुछ मेरी लाइफ में भी हुआ है, तो पता है मेरा ना ऐसे से ऐसे हुआ था, मेरा ऐसे से ऐसे हुआ था. And so all of that comes together and it becomes a mountain of that singular molehill that you started with, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so in that sense I feel like वो पर्सनल, अगेन वो बड़ा ना ऑथर थ्योरी वाला है कि वो डायरेक्टर्स थोड़ा अपने आप को रोमांटिसाइज करते हैं और बोलते हैं मैं भी बदल गया ये बनाते हो. इन माय एक्सपीरियंस वो इतना ज्यादा मैंने होता हुआ देखा नहीं है.
Okay. My very last question to you, Kanu, is that, and first of all, I would just have a request as someone who truly admires your filmmaking. I feel you are a very provocative filmmaker. I would just say that please continue making films. please continue telling stories because, genuinely speaking, we don't have too many filmmakers like you in India. And I just would like to know in the end of this conversation that what is your biggest challenge in the process of telling the stories that you want to tell? Is it convincing someone to believe in you? Is it believing in yourself? Or is it the monetary belief in your project? बिकॉज़ आई फ़ील मतलब ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि आपको जो कहानियाँ आप कहते हैं, कह चुके हैं, वैसी कहानियाँ हमें ज़्यादातर देखने को नहीं मिलती है। इन कहानियों की ज़रूरत है क्योंकि ये आपको एक दे थ्रो यू इन अ कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट डिमेंशन ऑफ ह्यूमन कॉन्शसनेस जस्ट टू से दैट कि ऐसी चीज़ भी होती है।
हम्म।
बट आपका सबसे बड़ा क्या चैलेंज रहता है इन कहानियों को कहने में?
सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज वही है यार, ट्राइंग टू fight the Disneyland that Bombay is.
ओके।
That's the biggest thing. It's just, the whole town is one big Disney theme park where everything is being made for kids, where audiences are just infantilized every day. It's encouraged to be stupid. It's you're actually people actually garland you for being stupider. आप कितने stupid हो सकते हो, कितना infantilize कर सकते हो, कितना ज्यादा लेम काम कर सकते हो. So yeah, it's just the fight against Disneyland. इधर सब वही तो है, मोस्टली वही काम हो रहा है. और जो जो लोग उससे अलग कुछ करना चाह रहे हैं, वो सिर्फ, मैं अपनी बात नहीं कर रहा, यू सी मोस्ट ऑफ द अदर इंडिपेंडेंट फिल्म मेकर्स, how how quickly are they able to tell the stories that they really want to tell? I mean, I could make a film a year, not for a lack of ideas, not for a lack of rigor or the desire.
हुँ,
It is only because, in fact now we are in a position where पहले तो डिज्नीलैंड में एक दो दरवाजे होते थे जो एक्सीडेंटली कहीं खुल जाते थे. अब तो वो भी नहीं है, वो भी नहीं बचा. I mean, imagine we are now in times where OTT platforms are turning around and telling filmmakers in their meetings to make second screen friendly content. What the fuck is that? Where are we headed?
मैंने
What,
पढ़ा था
where,
कि इसे एम्बिएंट कंटेंट बोलते हैं कि बैकग्राउंड में प्ले हो रहा है और बंदा वॉशिंग मशीन लगा के रखा है तो सुन रहा है वो एज़ अ
हाँ,
पॉडकास्ट।
नहीं नहीं, it's second screen. They are essentially turning around and clearly telling you कि ऐसा कुछ बनाओ जो लोग फोन पे आजकल बहुत रहते हैं, तो फोन पे भी रह सके, बीच बीच में ऊपर देखें, तो ज्यादा कुछ ना हुआ हो, उनका कुछ मिस. सो बेसिकली दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू टीवी प्लस प्लस. दिस इज अनदर थिंग दैट दे आर ओपनली सेइंग दैट लिसन, दिस इज टीवी प्लस प्लस, डोंट थिंक इसके आगे. राइट, तो दैट्स द एनवायरमेंट, दैट्स द टाउन. तो अब आप पूछ रहे हो कि सबसे बड़ा रोड ब्लॉक क्या है. रोड ब्लॉक यही है, बट ये कहाँ नहीं है, ये यहाँ है. बट मैं आई मार्वल बिकॉज वन ऑफ माई एब्सोल्यूट फेवरेट फिल्म्स फ्रॉम द लास्ट 15 years is a film called Foxcatcher by Bennett
ओह!
Miller.
या
Yeah.
ओके।
So now Bennett Miller made Capote. Bennett Miller then made that film with Brad Pitt, Moneyball. He
यस।
made Capote. He made Capote. He made Moneyball. Then he made Foxcatcher in 2014. He won Best Director at Cannes. Can you tell me what Bennett Miller made after Foxcatcher?
आई डोंट रिमेंबर, आई एम सो सॉरी।
Nothing.
ओके।
It's been 10 years after winning Best Director at Cannes. एंड व्हाट अ फिल्म. इट्स नॉट अबाउट बेस्ट डायरेक्टर एट कैन. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ वो कोई ठप्पा है, बहुत बहुत बकवास लोगों को भी मिला है बेस्ट डायरेक्टर एट कैन, डजंट मीन एनीथिंग. राइट,
राइट, राइट।
ऑस्कर्स और दिस, आई एम नॉट सेइंग अवार्ड ने उसे ग्रेट बना दिया. व्हाट अ फिल्म, इट इज अ बोनाफाइड masterpiece in that film, right? But so I'm saying this is happening everywhere. It's a sign of the times that we live in. It is not just me here. So अब ये तो वो होल है, वो ब्लैक होल है जिसमें हम सब गिरेंगे, और गिर के फिर इमर्ज करेंगे या नहीं वो एक देखना पड़ेगा. मैं जनरली थोड़ा होपफुल बंदा हूं लाइफ में, इवन दो लोगों को लगता है नहीं हूं, बट मैं बहुत हूं. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है निकलेंगे वापस ब्लैक होल में से, बट पहले तो गिरेंगे, गिर रहे हैं और पूरे गिरेंगे. इसमें गिरने के बाद ही होगा जो भी होगा. बिकॉज जो एपथी है ना लोगों को, द पीपल हु आर इन पावर आर सो एपथेटिक टुवर्ड्स द ह्यूज मास दैट इज नॉट इन पावर टुडे. ये लोग पिट के ही मानेंगे. ये लोग जब तक इन लोगों के घर में घुस के वो लोग इन लोगों को नहीं मारेंगे जिनके पास पावर नहीं बची है, तब तक ये लोग नहीं मानेंगे. So there will come a day when income inequality will be so big, right, that there will be a revolution, and there will be a point where people will be thrown out of the palaces that they're inhabiting, and only then, hopefully, out of that will we emerge out of this black hole.